Looks like the randomizer on OBS just doesn't work. Same damn images back and forth. Alright, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Nothing matters. This is this is bonus stream. Bonus stream. Come to the bonus stream. Bonus stream. Are you home, dude? What's up, Boxer? You're not home. Strap yourself in. This is bonus stream because I'm technically on the clock, but they're not going to need me, so I get paid to stream. I'm being sponsored. Good, yes. Let the suckers get home early. Be with their families. Losers. All right. Do I sound okay? I need your input. What I'm trying to do is sound at the same level that everybody else does on their streams, so that when anybody comes to my stream, they don't have to like crank their volume up and down. I'm not sure if I'm doing a good job. Yeah, trust me, I remember that. I remember that grind. No, at a certain point, like, they reward you for staying late. If you stay late enough, like, they'll buy you dinner, and you get home and everybody's asleep, and there's no downside. There's no downside to just working late. Audio seems fine. All right, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, all right. Seems like a diplomatic response. You're not trying to hurt my feelings. Holy moly. Confetti Yeti, yay! People are here. I don't expect people. This is a bonus stream. No one has to pay attention. No one needs to give a hoot. ASMR. Do you know what the sound of my... Oh, you know what I should do? Is I should brush my hair, like, on stream. Do I have a hairbrush? Here's some ASMR. Can I cut some paper? Yeah. Yeah. Crinkle, crinkle. Listen. Here, I'm gonna tease you to the point of climax. Does that sound good at all? I haven't tested any of that. All right. Thumbs down. What thumbs down? What are you talking about? There's no thumbs down. That was, Oh! Here, let's see if it works. Is that happening? Yeah. So that's the stupid Apple thing. Go like this, and it goes, whee! Yay! Stupid Apple. And then, what else does it do? What does it do? I think if you frown... What do? You frown? What can you do? Oh, check this out. Go like this. Hearts? Yeah. Here, let's... there you go. Then... Come on. It's... Anyway. Alright. Alright, here, try this. There we go. The pyrotechnics, and there's other things. You can make it rain. How do you do that? Let's see here. Yeah. Here we go. Reactions. Those are dumb. Woo! And then, woo! And then, oh, so sad. And then, woo, it's my birthday. And then, ooh, that's no good. Then, yay! And then, hearts for everybody. All right, so that's the tech. It's built into the, it's, check Discord. No, I don't want to check Discord. Discord is distracting. Trying to max. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I gotta shed a few pounds there. Whoa! What is this music? Holy moly. Oh god, I'm too lazy to monitor the music. Okay, cool. So... Yo, what happened to my... This doesn't look the way it's supposed to. Not happy. Here, let's go to the main. This just isn't looking very, the resolution is wrong. It's just an effed up, holy moly. No, 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 no. You will show me all the resolutions. There we go. That's better. I need to see... Yeah, that's better. We're not coloring. We're doing light. We're painting with light. God. Here we go. Hey. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so things have been fun with my early morning streams. God, this song fucking sucks. How did this get in here? Jesus Christ. I don't know what I was clicking on. Okay, this is the classic. This is the classic. I don't know what happened there. That was all bad. All right. Okay. Everybody's distracting me. Everything is distracting me. Link. Okay, all we're doing... Okay, the whole thing is... I'm doing this... The process is so methodical and simple that any idiot can do it. Myself especially. We're just applying a little bit of logic to everything. Just logic. It's just logic. You don't have to be afraid. It's like, what's 2 plus 2? What is 2 plus 2? Okay. Still, I'm going to try and make this presentable. big old color wheel. Coloring is a process, but we be not afraid. Of the coloring process. Okay. Okay, we are doing... Okay, despite all the silliness at the beginning of the stream, I love being silly. But what we can do right now... Well, I could bother to find the brush that I was using last time. I've got all these funny, silly names for brushes. Okay. Okay. The shading that we're doing right now is not complex. We are trying to identify areas on the form. We're in serious mode. We're in serious mode now. We're identifying areas on the form where light is blocked. If two objects are close together and overlapping, then light is likely blocking. This shield, being this so close to the skeleton arm, is blocking light. Here, and the crevices in between the carpals and the metacarpals, the pommel, of the sword, the tarsals and the phalanges and the carpals and the metacarpals and phalanges and underside of some of these things. Light will be blocked. In those zones, we add shading. If light is not blocked, we don't add shading. If we add shading where light is not blocked, what happens? What happens? Well, shit. See what I did right there? I added shading there, but light is not blocked there. That actually none of that deserves any shading at all, except maybe here on the flat backside of the blade. Maybe just a little bit, like a hair's touch there. Shading might occur here where the blade meets the hilt. That could happen. And here on the thumb, where the thumb is touching the handle. Light could be blocked there. If we shade something that isn't being blocked by light, what happens is that it ends up looking dirty. Like you smeared black paint on something and made it unclean. Even here, I went too far. For a second, I was about to erase it, but I can do just as well by painting in white. It is picking up just a little bit of the... because it's a... This brush also blends as well as it does shade, so... it is picking up some of that purple color, but I can drain that later. I'm going to set it to multiply as we go. That'll keep it pretty straightforward. Just getting darker and darker. And we'll see. The internet connection is going strong as long as my brother is not home. We'll stream until Boxer gets home. Sometimes I can't help myself. I go into autopilot. But I need to focus and just think about where light is being blocked. And the kind of question is, where is the light coming from? Well, we're doing occlusion shading right now. My process for doing lighting and color is to treat it like lighting. So there actually isn't any shading except for this, where the occlusion shading is taking place. And that's something we just do at the beginning, where we assume that there's at least a little bit of light everywhere so that very few things are 100% black. That way we can treat everything as if at least it has a little bit of color influence. Because everything pretty much should have at least a little color influence. Until you light it. If lighting was everywhere, well, so lighting can't be everywhere, but it can be pretty much everywhere within a scene to varying degrees. With occlusion shading, we just sort of think of it like this. What if it was what kind of shading would you see on an object if it was a cloudy, overcast day, but it was daytime? Well, there wouldn't be much shading on the top facing planes of any objects, right? Unless you happen to be near a tree, for instance, then you would have some shading on it. On the underside of most objects, or nearly all objects, frankly, on a cloudy day, you would definitely have some shading. And here, in the corner of a skeleton's mouth, very little light is going to make its way in. So we can get away with lots of shading. And so that's kind of the logic, is thinking about where light is sneaking in and where it is being blocked, or it just can't get in. But as long as we're not... Yeah. I've drawn enough skeletons to draw something that looks pretty passably decent. I'm not sure if you remember this, but when I started dating Julie, I was taking an écorché class. Do you remember that when I had that cool sculpture? Exactly. The écorché, I don't know the direct translation, but it kind of means like tortured. Or let's look it up. Let's learn. Let's learn together. Écorché. No, I want to know what it means. Skinned and flayed. Oh, peeled. Écorché. I wonder if it has to do with scorched. It's interesting. Half muscle and half skeleton. I think there was a picture of it somewhere. So it was a good way to understand the connective tissues and under the structure of the skeleton. The entire thing had the skeleton. It was a great way of understanding the the complexity and the nuances. But that was half the equation. The greater half of the equation was me understanding because in a sculpture, you can understand things in a sculptural sense, but that only gets you so far. Really, after I started dating Julie and she encouraged me to take yoga classes to counteract some physical health issues I was having, then I started to understand the importance of like the kinetic understanding of the human form, because you can't from a book understand the articulation that happens in the rib cage and all the flexibility and the contortion that is possible. Academically speaking, it's I think art students get a little shortchanged from the experience unless they happen to also be studying dance, for instance, or other things. It's like, yes, you can learn to draw a good skeleton by studying skeletons, but I learned just as much by doing studies of UFC fighters punching each other. I remember a couple of days when that movie Ong Bak came out. It was on Netflix at one point, streaming. This was in like 2007. And I would just draw from still frames of Ong Bak, and I would draw even the blurred action frames where like you couldn't even make out what it was. Like it was a leg that was just a blur, it was like a blurry lightning bolt connecting with a guy. But that was great understanding of how the body can move. That you just don't get when you're studying like Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, where he's all like vivisected out, Okay, so we've got line shading. John, you're here, or sorry, Boxer. There's a fun sense of like when you turn off the lines, but you still get a great sense of the form. And that's how you know your shading is pretty decent. And turn it back on. Like it barely makes a difference. Cool. One thing I've decided to fix, and I don't think I'm going to do it right now. I think I need to be a little more of my entire mind, but the distortion on the sword blade as it's coming to camera is a little extreme. I may taper that down. I like the dynamism, but I just feel like it's throwing off the proportions a bit. Okay, save my work. So far, my clients are still happy. That's good. No drop frames. The bit rate is crazy. Super pleased. Okay, should be able to shade into this. Lots of opportunities here to find crevices that are blocked with light, blocked from light. All of this underside plane. The underside of this rim, where it meets this form. The light is blocked in all of that. There will be some effects to come. For instance, this eyeball on this statue shoots laser beams. There will be some light bleed from that, but not much because it's a laser. So where a normal light would have some ambient effects, that'll be minimized on a laser if I'm drawing it right. Sort of interesting to think about. Here where the top part meets the bottom part, light there is blocked. A little bit here. Feels about right. This is a sort of a sphere strapped to the main body of the statue. Center myself a bit. Ugh. I'm gonna have to ditch this the cam on my new laptop is, I mean, I'm sure it's lovely, but it isn't It's not quite serving my needs. I will be exploring alternatives. Better than nothing for sure, but... Laser dudes from the Link to the Past. These are called the BMOS. They're like sentries, I guess. Right? This was a very hard form to figure out. It's all very octopusy. Sort of a phallic-y, octopusy. That's a little overdone, but you can, as long having a strong sense of the form, even if I make a mistake in the shading, is just as well. These limbs, as they get closer to the form, will get darker because light is blocked. This might have been a little bit too much right there. Sirens blazing by. Wonder if any of that is audible on the mic. Looks pretty good. Save my work. Now, what the hell do I do in this background? Jeez. Well, time to make some progress, I guess. I have some shading layers already made, but they aren't shading so much as they are sort of like design shading. So those are mostly inactive. When I turn them on, you can see their effect on the color, but that's not intended to be... Like, I mean, I could do lots of different things with them. If I set them all to become overlay layers, they have this luminous quality, which is really interesting. Really creating a vibrance. It's kind of rad. But that's a distraction for now. Turn all that off. And it's tricky because what's going to happen is, it's hard to see here, but this will be a lit torch. Like, that's going to be fire. Fire that's illuminating the scene from the back. So Link being bright like this isn't going to happen. He's going to be in shadow, really, from the point of this fire. And these are evil eyes that are going to be glowing in the dark. Almost everything. I mean, the whole point of this is to render out a dimly lit scene. So there's a sense in which some of what I'm doing is overkill, but not really. Because we got to think about it. Light on this sphere will be blocked towards the base. Diminish towards the base of the cube that suspends it. Underside. And again towards the ground. This torch pit, same deal. This hole should frankly put the whole thing in shadow. This is sort of a channel or it's like a sewer pipe in a dungeon. Something the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would come out of, or the good guys from Akira would use to sneak into the government base. Darker and darker. But there will be some mist or haze. There's water in this pipe, so it's not going to be without humidity and or things that might catch light. I can indicate light falling off as it reaches the corners of the room. Edges of the pipe. The backside of a waterfall. If water's falling and it hits other water, it will kick up a mist. And that'll absorb light. But also block it. Light will recede towards the corners of the room. Light will recede and become blocked in the corners of the floor. Any corners of the baseboards. Some sort of dungeon equivalent. The mortar between giant ancient stones. Light will be blocked. Cracks in between those mortars. All right. Wonder what this is. Maybe it's another sphere, like across. Yeah, maybe that's what I meant. Many, many days separating my line art on this from my shading, from my initial sketch. And so, unironically, I have a lot of fresh eyes when I come back to these pieces. I see things that I hadn't considered probably before, and I want to try and make work now. Makes sense, I think, that there should be a kind of well, maybe not a sloppy one, but some sort of structure to the pipe, bordering on something realistic. Thanks, dude. Someone gives me a compliment, I must save my work. That's the new rule. Gradients from light to dark, from the top of the stair to the bottom. It's only logical. There's a floor plane. Light will mass in the middle of the floor plane and not at the edges. It's only logical. Let's make that a stair. I recall now the whole thing was that Link was jumping from one level to the next, from a higher level to a lower level, jumping and slicing. In the corner of the stairs, light is blocked. Makes sense. All right, dude. See you in a bit. Smell something cooking. What's fun is there is this fun texture to my brushes. It's very fun. It's distinctive. It's I don't know if I could say that it's ownable. It's not ownable, but or I don't know, maybe it is, but find someone else who does that. It's all good. But it has this fun effect where you can really see the natural hand of the artist, which I appreciate. Okay, this is some sort of doorway opening. All of which should be mostly in shade. Trending more so at the extremities. One thing I should try that I haven't done yet is the natural power of multiplication on a shading layer. Let me hold off a bit. Let me just get this all more or less shaded in. It's so shaggy right now. It's at a stage where it's fighting with my ears. My lovely wife is calling, but it will interrupt my stream if I pick up, so. Sort of drawing architectural things without understanding exactly what I'm putting down. It's not necessarily good or bad. I just... Yeah, I think I might do just as well to... What if I... Instead... Just more like masonry. If it needs to become important, I'll make it important, but I'm not sure it needs to be that way. I don't know if I need two important things right next to each other. One will do. Another kind of Romeo and Juliet type balcony. Huh. Lady Lilithina, nice to have you in the chat. Yes. He will drive safely. Or pay the... Hi. This says it's your first time in my chat. I can't believe that, but I suppose it's possible. Surely you've lurked before. Alright. Well, I don't like the spotlight. Well, I lie. I love the spotlight, but it's not necessarily directed at you or anybody. If we... Truth be told, I get a lot done when the chat is not too busy, so... Getting a head full of steam about some of the shading stuff. That is kind of a goofy little angle. I don't know if the perspective on that is quite what I need it to be. Maybe I normalize that just a bit. It doesn't have to be anything too nuts. Light to dark, dark to light. Describe some form. Corner. I noticed you had been liking some of the stuff I was posting on Instagram, which I appreciate. So thank you. Those posts are starting to get some traction. The internet is so full of bots. hardly know what to think anymore. But I'm a sucker for praise. I'm like Tinkerbell. You know, you gotta clap, or else her heart stops. As soon as like the chat goes quiet, I like clutch my chest. I'm like, save me, lurkers, please, shout my praises. But I've got this great trait, this life-saving trait called ego that even if no one's there, I just hear, oh, that looks great. Oh, who said that? Oh, there's no one here but me. Still, it's true. Just kidding. It helps. It helps to have someone there. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I didn't even notice this till just now. There's a treasure chest right there. Look, we've discovered a treasure chest. I had drawn a treasure chest here and ignored it compositionally until just this moment. How funny is that? How can I shade it so that it stays relevant? Dun 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 dun. No. Dun 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 dun. I need to have like a cool like soundboard with all the classic Zelda sound effects. That would be rad. Sketch Boy, I wish there were music stingers when I unlock an achievement in real life. Yeah. I definitely have considered, because like look here, like it's been in my like mental to-do list. Here's what I want is because I can't play video games on a stream. That'll destroy me. It won't destroy me, it'll become the purpose of my life and then I won't get any drawing done. But if yeah, Boxer will help me. But like, if I could rig this as like the soundboard, you know what I mean? So if I like click this button, it says da-na-na-na. Oh, that was a good one. Da-na-na-na. And what else would it be? Like, I like it when he shoots the arrow. It goes ching, ching, or choo. It's almost like a sneeze sound. That's in the original Zelda. And oh, there's a few like when you beat a level in the original Zelda, the Link to the Past, he like does this cool like spin around move. It goes whoosh, whoosh, ka-ching. You know, all of that is like be badass accoutrement. I need to Scott Pilgrimify the Zelda stream. I've yet to see Scott Pilgrim. I just know it from reputation, of course. Have not read, have not seen. I'm a bad. I don't know. I'm a bad boy. I know I dig it. I even like John Cena. Definitely need to make this look more of a staircase. Boom. Da-na-na-na. Maybe recede more. That's not too bad. And what is happening up here? Probably nothing. Let's not get hung up on it. There we go. When in doubt, black it out. So, okay, so that basically gives a sense of the intended possible lighting for this fun little background. So, what I can do, because what we've done here is we've introduced all this information, right? Well, if the information on its own looks good, then it can be fun then to take the same information that looks like a science lab level accurate skeleton. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I drew that from memory. Yes, I did. Both skeletons, and the bats I drew without reference as well. So the science lab is up here. This is a this will be a fun experiment. So we've decided what's in light and what's in shadow. What if we take that information, this is just information, and multiply it on top of itself? Still looks accurate. Gives us a different sort of intensity of the scene, we can play with different types of things. This is using the screen, and this is the multiply. Sort of splits the difference between the two things, adding light and darkness at the same time. Just fun different ways of using the information that we've added. We'll take them away, and this is what we drew. But yeah, okay, so if we set this to, we have a color layer underneath. If we set that to multiply, all of a sudden, like previously, this was our background, right? It's like, whatever, it all looks like one color. A little bit of fun added into it. Like, how are you doing? Meowdy to you. We're just experimenting with some shading and some effects here. I've been messing around with some of these interesting... See, that's a fun effect too. I love how... Is there something about the stream that makes people cook, or is it just the time of day that I'm always... I feel like everybody's always cooking when I'm... Maybe you're the one. You're the one who's cooking. I mean, I love cooking myself, but it just makes sense, actually. People are taking their break. Yeah, you cook pretty often. Well, good for you. I like cooking, too. Lots of different ways of using the information we've created. You were a sous chef? Ooh, I like that. I'm a bit of a chefy chef myself. The culinary arts are fascinating to me. If anything is a little undershaded, it's Link here. That's interesting. I probably just have him set a little odd. Oh yeah, he's set to overlay. So if I set him to multiply like everybody else. So there we go. That's a little bit more... What if we just turn everything on? So... We're really practically there. The goal is to make this scene look like all the lights are off, but the color influence is still there. So tricky, but that's sort of step one of the lighting process, for me at least. That's that. Gets a little drawn out. Was recently watching Ratatouille. I'm Linguini without the rat. Forgot his name was Linguini. I'm dying. Whose name was Linguini? I saw Ratatouille like once in theaters, and I loved it, but instantly forgot it. The cook's name was Linguini in Ratatouille? Does Pixar need help, like, naming their characters? Is Pixar okay? That'll be the name of my next stream. So this is like... If this would be like a normal person shading like this, you'd be like, I think you overshaded it. And like, that would be accurate as long as like they didn't know where to go from here. I know. Ratatouille's like, what, 20 years old? That's a crime. Time is a crime. I'm a victim. I'm a victim of. Oh man, no, I'm the victim. I'm the real victim. Yeah, okay. Nice and dark. That's the point. Okay. This one is looking good. Did you guys see this yet? Ignore the stuff in the foreground. The foreground for this one is all going to get all blurred out. All this stuff here, I'm going to do... I won't do this much, but it'll have this... this fun... depth of field effect. Like a lens. You see what I'm doing? A little bit like that. You know what I mean? And again, like this is artificially brightened, but it'll be darker. And then when we add light, it'll have a natural sense of luminosity that should be pretty convincing. I'm totally stoked today because I was working and I finished early. And they're like, just hang around, be available in case we need you, but you know, we're not going to need you, so consider the rest of the day to be yours to get paid and not doing anything. And I was like, yes sir. So I decided I would get paid to do this instead. This is the guy on the left is my dog waking up barking at me, waking me up barking at some... Okay, yeah, the Moblin guy. What kind of dog do you have? Is it a French bulldog? Frenchie? Border Collie. All right. I'm almost to the dog stage with my family. We're at the stage where either we get a dog or we get another cat. Our cat, Sir Hugh, he passed away a few months ago. I think we're past the grieving stage, and the kids are asking about new kitty. It's sort of like it like depends on what their friends are getting, right? So their friend just got a new cat, so I wonder if we'll just go with the cat. But I'm almost personally getting to the point where I wouldn't mind a dog. Sir Hugh was a regal man. Both at my other studio at my house, the two cat portraits that are on the wall are both of my beloved deceased cats, Lady Emily and Sir Hugh. This looks cool. I'm glad this is looking good. Good so far. Maybe something more on Link. I could do something more. My gut, my heart is telling me, don't stop. What else? What else? I don't know. I don't know what necessarily more it is begging for, but definitely needs something. it was kind of rough watching Hugh go through. He was such a regal cat, and he was really dealing with some medical unfortunateness that was taking his dignity a bit. He had this way of walking that reminded me of those portraits of Louis XIV, the Sun King of France, where just this sort of grand stature that felt weightless. Something like that, yeah, where like somehow it seemed like he was effortlessly like walking on his toes constantly. Light on his feet, not clumsy, never clumsy. Always knew his angles. A lover of his royal routine. Never missed a meal. Huh. Always strong and brave. Full of surprises. We would let him into the backyard and he would come inside the house with a bird. like an effing mourning dove. I mean, they're light birds, but I mean, a bird isn't that easy to catch, is it? The light of day. He's not like a it's not like he's particularly well camouflaged, gray and white. I don't want to overshade Link here, but something that feels a little bit more honest to the lighting situation. There we go. I think my hair is almost length. I should be Link for Halloween, I think. I think I'll be Link. That would be fun, though. Haven't done that since I was a kid. Okay. Decently good. Moving on. We'll get a start to this one. Although something is missing here. Where did the horsey go? That is funny. Somehow I forgot to include the horse. Properly in the color flat master. Maybe I can just fix that right now. Midgrass lines off. Crushed forced lines off. Octorock right arm lines off. Octorock front arm lines off. Octorock head lines off. Octorock sack lines off. Octorock back arm lines off. Far forest lines off. Back forest lines off. And that's it. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's the new color flat master. Yeah. Color flat master. Okay. Turn all that stuff back on. Tree and ground lines on. Midgrass lines on. Crushed forest lines on. Octorock right arm lines on. Octorock front arm lines on. Octorock head lines on. Octorock sack lines on. Octorock back arm lines on. Far forest lines on. Back forest lines on. Okay. This is going to be a cool one. All the same stuff. We're going to shade it within an inch of its life. If you're working, save your work. Some shading here, first and foremost, on the horse's mane. Okay, whatever reason, it was giving me a little bit of trouble. I think we can get past that now. No reason to overthink it. Okay. Okay. It's a little tricky with these smaller figures. What tends to happen is the areas that are sort of really blocked and occluded, they're already sort of represented by the lines themselves. That is kind of what the lines do, is they represent blocked and occluded and overlapped areas on a figure, on a form. So wherever we do need to see those represented, they won't be needing much. And for this task, I almost feel a little bit like a dental hygienist, sort of finding the dark recesses and cavities that toothbrushes don't just do a good job of scraping. And they need serious, durable scraping tools to just get in there and take care of business. And that's kind of what I'm doing, finding those crevices, giving it the treatment. Not overdoing it. Just giving it what it needs. Oh my. Huh. was kind of bleeding out over the edges. I had been a little sloppy with my application. The big reason why I do things in such with such methodicity, I don't know, I'm very methodical in the process, because it really reduces the amount of opportunities for mistake making and the consequences of those mistakes. By not skipping steps, I really reduce the amount of backtracking. So that nearly every instance of working on a project pushes it forward. Very little waste. Waste due to error. Well, it's 7. I'll go a little longer. We'll see when Boxer gets home. I'll yield the floor. That'll be the cutoff point, because he'll need internet. I've been very spoiled with uncontested bandwidth here. Definitely bring some light back into it, because I overdid it for sure. There's definitely some light hitting some of these places. Light is getting blocked, but not not completely blocked in these areas. Let's see what that looks like. Multiplied on. There's something about it I'm not loving, but it's subtle. And what can happen is that as the rest of the scene enters a more unified state, the outliers where things were not perfectly well, assuming that I do a mostly good job on everything, the areas that fall beneath a certain threshold will pop out, and we'll know for sure whether or not they need more. Or it could also be that it just looks out of place right now because it's early in the process, and that's normal. So nothing to be obsessed about. This is such a crazy drawing because so many things are behind and in front of things at the same time. Like the horse itself is in front of this fallen log, but also behind it with his rear legs. Zelda is behind it and on top of the horse in more than a few areas. Zelda is behind and in front of Link. Like her cape is behind Link and in front of Link at the same time. Link is behind Zelda, but I intended his little foot right here to be in front of the horse, to be pushing off of it. Now, of course, I could do all that pretty easily if they were on their own. If they were all on one layer. But if you flatten your layers like that, it's tricky to. And I guess like Photoshop has interesting things where you can, I guess, select out different masks and things. But I find that makes it difficult to jump back into my drawing program, which is Corel Painter. And it's just not something that is very streamlined. So that's the struggle. That's the struggle. I'm out of water. All right, let's see here. The underside. Is always going to have some shading. Where the forms meet, light will be blocked. Plenty of light getting blocked right here. Horse's crotch. Do you have light getting blocked down here? Now later on, there will theoretically be some light bouncing off the grass that's beneath the horse. Grass is very reflective. It casts light in all sorts of directions, but that cumulative effect definitely lights up the underplane. At least if things are bright enough. And that'll be a fun question, is how bright do we want the scene to be? It's not a night scene the way I'm designing it. So knowing that the sun is somewhere. The sun will be here. You can't tell, but it's a sunset scene. I'm going to try my darndest to make some sort of sunlight effect where the sun is shining, creating great rim light for the scene, but also sort of penetrating at least a little bit the skin of the Octorok, getting some interesting subsurface scattering effects. Done right, I can make it look like, it's not that I've done it before, I haven't, but I think I can make it look like you've seen photos where someone's ears are lit up from the sun or a bright light that's shining behind them. Or if you've taken a flashlight and pressed it up tight against your index finger or another finger or a thin piece of skin, it'll glow. Like the movie E.T. The somewhat transparent nature of the flesh both captures and reflects light and passes it through, really intensifying the effect of the color of light and the local color of the object. Hopefully these horse muscles are somewhat close. A lot of guessing, just based on previous horse drawings I've done. I trusted myself to a certain degree to have it okay, and then fudge the rest. Even here at the top of the head, the mane is blocking light where it's connecting. Here too. A little bit here too. Just from Link, just being nearby. It's blocking some light. Okay, some of these areas are too far. Too far gone. Save my work. Let's see how that looks. Turn on the color. Looks decent. It's a completely overshaded, especially in these white areas, or undershaded, I suppose, compared to everything else. It's somewhat interesting. The horse will be tricky. A lot of different materiality considerations coming into play. Hair, fur, the lustrousness. Ooh, someone to ban. We all need someone to ban. How can I ban this bozo? Let's see here. That's a little odd. I can't, where's my brother when I need him? I don't see my, Destiny, don't click on the person there. I'm lacking right now the tools to ban them. Services, no. What will this do? Apply, no. That's interesting. Anyway, sorry, Destiny. Oh, okay, ban. Okay, I'll do that. Ban. Casey Ooh, let's see what that does. And there it goes. Hey, thank you. I picked up these tips. These are good tips. Destiny, I've been shading a bit. You can see some progress here. Now, this is pure shading. This is not lighting. The lighting comes later. This is just the shading process. These are all on different stages of the shading. But the theory, the approach is that by shading it and getting to a place where things are shaded logically and realistically, we can then light it. Okay, cool. Thank you for following me on Instagram. Boxer, are you home? Hello? Hello, Boxer. Yeah, I've been pleased to... oh. Can you bring me a water? Bring me a water and then I will complete my stream and I will cede the internet dominance. Or don't. It's not a big deal. But we're probably gonna get... I'm on his turf right now. I shouldn't be a butthead and do this, but I need the hydration. I do. Just being honest. I'm just the messenger. Okay, you're holding my kids hostage. I'm holding your internet hostage. Hi Kiki. Hi Robbie. How are you? Do you see Daddy on TV? Don't forget to eat your vegetables. Yeah, that sounds like what a good dad would say. Yeah, maybe send Kiki up with some water. That'll be a smart thing. And then I'll sign off. It's the old ploy. Watch my stream. I have children. I have a family to support. My children, they need wine. In a serious way, I'm very excited about the prospect of turning on my kids to the new Zelda game, the Princess Zelda adventure that is being released soon. Perfect reason for me to buy a new video game system and do a bunch of research. Yes. Ooh, maybe I can be one of those streamers that streams their the new game, the new cool game. That's what I'll do. I'll do that like on like one stream, is instead of drawing for once, I'll just play with my daughter. Inspiration. Artists need inspiration. It'll be cool. She actually really likes video games, and I'm a good parent, and I don't let her play them. So this will be fun for everybody. We'll see how much she can stand. There we go. Coming together. Oh, here she is. Here's my princess. Here's my princess. Here,
Did you saw my hand?
I didn't see it. Here, stand right here. Stand right here. Do you see yourself? Here, let me... Here, I'll put you on the big screen. Hang on. Hang on. Let's see here. Do you see yourself?
And even your little brother told me that you needed a glass of water. Or maybe a cup.
I did. I needed water. Kiki! You can shut it, and Boxer, I'm going to sign off in like 3 minutes. Kiki has played games on... This is sort of funny. She's played... In our household with like our supervision, she's played like educational games, like ABC Mouse is like a service or whatever. It's educational. Actually, it is educational, but it's very curated. At her school, she and her classmates have Chromebooks, and they play these sort of curated Google games that are like, see how many people you can hug and give love to and make happy when they're sad. And it's very sort of like whatever. But, you know, it's something she can play and she likes it. We gave her a small sort of, these are amazing little $30 digital cameras meant for children. They're even waterproof, some of them. And so she's had a couple of those. Those come with built-in video games that I didn't even know existed, but she found them, and they're sort of like little puzzle games, like move the block and escape from the level, and you know the next level is a little bit harder, and she figures out how to play those on her own too. And it's been fun for me to see her little problem solving. So she definitely has some interest and some you know, potential for some real game playing, and I think the Zelda one is probably a good one for her. So it's decided. It's decided. I'll do that. Do you hear me? Do you hear me, internet? It's decided. I like messing around with these things. Okay, so let me save this. Made some good progress on this today. I worked. I made some money. I even got up early. So this is the second stream I did. This is the bonus stream. So made some good progress. Good progress. You know, hey, we got this whole top row going on. This will be a very, very fun adventure down the road of real color. Seeing how it works. Get to either put up or shut up with all my boasting. So tune in later to see me sink or swim. We'll see how it goes. But for the foreseeable future, probably the next dozen. I mean, assuming I'm streaming once a day, which I'm trying to do, just to make progress on this thing. No one has to tune in. This can just be me doing my thing, but I'm trying to be accountable to my mission, which is to document the whole process so that others may follow in my glorious footsteps and give their attempt at learning what I've put down for them to practice. Anyway, shading, then lighting, then things like special effects, finishing touches, levels adjustment, like photographic stuff, contrast, brightness. You know, much more to go, but good progress. Good progress. It actually honestly, it gets easier with each step because it's closer and closer to real. So all the shading stuff I'm doing, I'm doing it like without thinking at all. Just very little thinking is needed. And then the coloring is, again, it's just logical. If we're adding light, it just gets brighter. You know, which color is it? Not that difficult, turns out. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna say, here, let me do this. Do this, or maybe I'll do this. I'll just do this. All right, thanks. See you next time. Adios.